Okay. Okay. So in the last session, we discussed on like the basics of Jenkins, like what Jenkins is. So let me share my screen. Yeah. So this was the basics that we discussed. Like, what does Jenkins do? Can you see my screen? Can you see the PPT?
Yes, we can do it.
Okay, so that's what Jenkins do. So with Jenkins, we can achieve multiple tasks. What does it do? It can interact with our various tools. Okay, when a developer commits the code in the repo, okay, and my Jenkins is linked to the repo. Okay, so Jenkins knows when the developer is going to commit it. As soon as the developer commits it, then Jenkins build gets triggered, and we can specify in that we can ask Jenkins to do whatever it wants. Like whatever we want to ask him, we can ask him. So we can configure like, okay, when the developer commits a code, just check out the code in your workspace and just build it using Maven or any other tool. Just build the code, produce an artifact. You can store that jar or whatever you produce into a repository. Okay, and you can run some testing on it, do some quality checks on the code. So all these things your Jenkins will do. Okay, so Jenkins can automate your whole development journey, like whole software journey. Using Jenkins, you can automate. It can do a CI. What is CI? Like integration of the code and unit testing it. When the developer commits a code, you just get Jenkins gets the code in its workspace. It builds a code, runs some testing using Selenium, or there are so many tools, testing tools available. Does a code quality check using different tools available. Again, there are many tools like SonarQube available in the market. So it checks the code for the quality. So this is all CI. Okay, and after that, after CI, what it will do? We can do a delivery or deployment. I told you what is the difference between delivery and deployment. Okay, delivery is you deliver that code. Like you deploy that code on a particular environment, not the prod, on the non-prod environment. Okay, like a UAT or user acceptance testing environment, or any below lower environment, like below prod, whatever environments you have, you can deploy that to the prod. Okay, that will be delivery. Okay, and after a manual trigger for deployment, you will need a manual trigger in that case. If you want to deploy on production, there is a manual trigger you will need, or approval you will need. So that will be called delivery. But the deployment will be after CI, everything gets deployed on production. So that will be called deployment. So Jenkins can do both of the things. So it totally depends on the project, what we want to do there. Are the project doing CD, so continuous delivery, or are they doing continuous deployment? So most of the time in the industry, you will see they are doing delivery only, continuous delivery only. So deployment will be mostly like approval based, or there'll be a separate job that will deploy on production. Okay. So we saw that why Jenkins is very popular, because it's open source. Okay, it's open source. That is, there is a big Jenkins community. They can any day they can post some plugins. They create some plugins, and these plugins are, what are these plugins? Like as I told you, right? Jenkins can integrate it with various tools. It can integrate the Maven, Selenium, SonarQube, Docker, Kubernetes, AWS. Like it can integrate with hell lot of things. Okay, so for integrating, it will need a plugin. Okay, plugins are nothing, just the connectors which connect Jenkins with those particular tools. So that's what plugin does. Okay, so there is a big community. There is a big Jenkins community, and people are developing plugins there, for utility purpose. Okay, so you can, when you want to use that particular tool, just install that plugin in Jenkins and start using it. Okay, there is a very good documentation of these plugins also available, very step by step and very crisp documentation which is available. Just follow the steps and you will know how to use those plugins. Okay, these are all the configuration based. I'll show you on the UI how we do the configurations of these plugins and those things. Okay, and what can Jenkins do? With Jenkins also notify After the build gets complete, it can send an email to respective people, whatever you configure, that my build is complete or deployment is complete. Okay, you can schedule tasks using Jenkins. You can put a cron job. You know what is a cron job, right? We can schedule it like this particular build has to run every minute. This particular build has to run every hour, or this will run every night at 12 a.m. Okay, so all the things you can configure it. Okay, then you can do so many customizations on UI. Like you can totally change the look and feel of Jenkins as per your project, as per you want. So that's why Jenkins is so popular these days. Okay, we saw all those these things, how we get notified. Like we have a delivery team which checks in the project. It will the version will basically come the delivery team that is a developer will commit the project, will commit the code on the version control tool, like say GitHub. Okay, and that would trigger my Jenkins build. Okay, what Jenkins will do, it will build and test, build and unit test. If that is failing, your delivery team will be notified. Okay, if it is green, if it is not failing, if it is successful, then your next step will take place. And if the automated acceptance test is red, is failing, then your delivery team will be notified. They will push some changes. Okay, so at every point of time in the build, your developers are getting notified. So it's not like that after 6 or 7 months, you are testing the whole bunch of 5,000, 50,000 lines of code, and your developer team gets notified after 6 months that, okay, here is the error. So that will be very difficult for them, right? So it will be very difficult for them to focus on what they are doing right now and what they did like 4 or 5 months back on the code, and it will be very difficult to track. So that is the whole purpose of using a CI, using a continuous integration. We saw like after every commit, after every logical commit, your Jenkins is notified. The CI server, that is our Jenkins, get notified, and it will build the code. It will send the response to the feedback to the developer. Okay, whether it is successful or failure. If there is a failure, developer make the changes, again get pulled by Jenkins, and again that is built, and again the feedback is sent to the developers. So the process goes on and on. So that is why it is called continuous, because the process is never ending. Okay, and you can understand what are the advantages. I told you already what are the advantages of continuous integration. Okay, so this was the basic. So how Jenkins work? You have it works on a master slave concept. Okay, so you can have slave machines. So even if you are not having slave jobs, so if you don't have slave jobs, then master will take care of all the jobs. Okay, so you have an option of creating slaves. In that case, then let's say you have many jobs getting triggered, so your master can distribute that jobs among slaves. Okay, so and it can assign, okay, this job goes to this slave, those jobs go to this slave, this job go to this slave, and your slaves will start performing those jobs. They can execute in parallel. Okay, got it? Any confusion on this? This was just a recap of the last session that we did about Jenkins. Any questions?
No, it's good.
It's clear, right?
Yeah, it's very clear.
So today we'll do some demo. You will get to know how to install Jenkins on Amazon, Linux, and those things we'll do.
Yeah.
So what? So again, we will use like we are using every time. We'll again go for some AWS Linux EC2 instances. Okay. So you guys are aware of AWS, right? Creating instances and those, you are fine, right? Okay. So I'll again go with the instance that I created that day. So this was, so what was this? Let me log into this machine. 54 205 35 21. I will load. Okay, can you see my putty screen?
No.
Sorry, I need to share it. Okay, let me share my whole screen. Can you see my full screen now? Visible now?
Yes.
Okay. So I logged in as a EC2 user. Okay. Then what will I do? I'll log in as a root user because we have to install so many things. I don't want to enter sudo every time. So I'll logged in as a root user. Okay. So what we'll do? So this was the repos we were practicing that day. So let's install Jenkins and do the things today. Okay. So I'll share this document with you. These have all the steps. Okay. First prerequisite is you can see my Word document.
Yes.
Okay. Now it's reflecting fine. So your prerequisite is you have to install Git. Okay. On your machine, you have to install Git first. So we already did that. I'm using the same machine that we did that day. So I'm not installing it. You can follow the same steps that we used to install Git. So you just install. First step would be to install Git. Okay. Second step would be to install Java. Okay. Because as you said, Jenkins. What is Jenkins? Jenkins is developed based on Java. It is developed on Java. Okay. So you have to install Java. Okay, let's check if Java is installed on this laptop or not. Java hyphen version. So this is a command you can check Java hyphen version. You can check if Java is installed or not. If Java is installed, it will give you a Java version. Okay. So Git version, I'll show you Git hyphen version. So the Git version is 2.37.1. So that means Git is already installed. So next step is installing Java. So I've given you a link to a path that will help you to install Java in your machine. So it depends on Java installation step depends on which machine you are using. Okay, you can also install on local on your Windows machine also you can install. Okay, so right now we are using Amazon Linux. So I'll open that URL which I was using. How do I? Yeah, now it's better. So yeah, the path.
This one.
Yeah, this. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. So just follow these steps. Okay, just follow these steps. So see, DevOps is more about like you will install so many things, so many tools and things there in DevOps. So it's not like you have to remember everything. What are the commands to deploy this? What are the commands to install this? No, it's not like that. You have so many hundreds of documentation available on Google, and also I'll also keep on giving you the links which we find that are useful. Okay, you can just go through the steps and deploy it. Okay.
Okay.
So we did a Java hyphen version. So we saw that Java is not installed on our machine right now. Okay, so we'll go and install Java. Okay, we'll do this. This will give you the list of OpenJDK versions that are available. Okay. So this is giving you the list of OpenJDK. So we are interested in this one. Okay, let's install this one. You can install any. You can install even the latest one. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, you can just install this version also. This version. So I'm just going with this document. So I'll follow all those steps. Okay. So this is okay. Yes. So this is installing Java. How do I get rid of this? Can I hide it? Hide floating meeting controls. Okay, that is good. You can see my screen right now. Okay. See, you can see it, right? My screen.
We are seeing the putty now. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that is fine. That is fine. Okay. So our next step is Java code installed. Okay, Java code installed. See, it's complete. So next step would be if you already have a Java installed, you can check. Yeah. So you can we do not have Java version installed, right? So now if I check Java version, Java hyphen version, oh sorry, without a space, Java hyphen version, oh sorry, Java, spelling mistake, sorry, Java hyphen version, what is it saying? Unrecognized, what is this? Clear. Java hyphen version, sorry, spelling mistake. Unrecognized, could not create a Java virtual machine. What is this? Program will exit. Okay, let's move with the forward steps. Okay, so Java code installed. Okay, Java code installed. Now we have to configure Java. Okay, so this is step 2 to do it. Use sudo update alternatives -- config Java. So these are the steps you have to follow for your Amazon Linux. If you're using Ubuntu, there will be different steps. Okay, these are the steps that I'm telling that are for Amazon Linux. Okay, config Java. So there is one program that provides Java. So here, as it says, so here they have, I guess, 2. So but we have only 1. So let's go with the one we are having. So I'll just go enter to keep the current selection. Okay, or type the selection number. So we have only 1 selection. So I'll select it. Okay. What's the next step? Find out where Java is. So I'll use this command to check at what location my Java is. Okay, so it says here bin /bin /Java. So Java got installed here. Okay, symbolic link to, it gives a symbolic link to this. Okay, now what? Yeah. Now we have to find the actual location. So for finding the actual location, this was just a symbolic link. Okay, this was just a symbolic link. So now I have to find the actual location. So I'll go to this. Yeah, so it will give you, this means it is symbolic link to, so this is my actual path of the Java. Okay, you see here it got installed by default, user lib, blah, 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 whatever. So it was showing here also. See, it was showing this path here also where it installed Java. Okay, then you can reaffirm the location. No, you don't want to, we already know the path. Okay, so this means Java has been installed perfectly. Now you go ahead and copy the path of our output. So this was, okay, now we have to set Java home. Okay, so we have to set Java environment variable. So what I'll do, we will go to, there is a bash rc, you know that, right? There is a .bash rc. This is a file that will run when your machine gets booted up. Okay, whenever your machine gets booted up, this is the first file that is triggered. So this is a dot file. So we have to enter our Java path here. Okay, whatever Java path we are saying. So just copy it. We will add these lines in this. Okay, we'll add these lines in this. So I added these 2 lines. Okay. I'll just edit the path. Okay, this is a Java path, right? This is Java path that we have to put in. But my Java path is different, that I can edit upwards. So I'll remove it. Okay, what was my Java path? My Java path was this. My Java path was this: user lib jvm whatever openjdk up to this, up to 64. So this is my Java path. So I'll add this here. Okay, I added this here and to the path I concatenated it. So my path, in the path variable, so I had put this Java home. Okay, so this I'm setting my Java home. Okay, my Java home will be this, and in the path I'll put it this Java home /bin. I'll add this to the path. Okay, so I'll save it. Okay, now to source it, what I'll do a source dot bash rc. Okay, so it got sourced. Okay, now if I do which Java, it is giving me this path. Okay, if I do echo $Java home, so it is giving me this path. So this means my Java path is set now. This clear? So we installed Java and we had set up the path, Java path we had set up. Okay. So now we have set up Java. So if I do Java --, version, I don't know why it is not giving me version. Let me create a duplicate session and let's check there. EC2-user. Okay, sudo su-root. Okay. Now I will set up my. Now I'll see. I'll do a Java.
Can we also log into this machine? We just see
which machine?
This EC2 instance.
Yeah, this is my EC2 instance only. I've logged into.
Yeah, can we also log in?
No, you cannot log into it.
Okay.
Then I have to give a public access and those things. You can create
okay,
a EC2 instance.
private.
You can create a EC2.
No. I was just saying, like, while you're doing, we can also just do some show commands like that. You know.
Okay.
It's okay.
I cannot log into it actually. Okay.
It's not public, right? So.
Yeah, it's not public. Sorry, I was using hyphen version, I guess. So Java hyphen version. Sorry for that. It's Java hyphen version. That is the command to check the Java version. So my Java got installed. See, this OpenJDK version is 1.8.0. Okay. So if I do echo $Java home, so it is giving me the path. Okay.
Okay.
Got it? So my Java got installed. So next step, coming to the next step. So Java got installed. Now coming to third step, add the LTS Jenkins repository. Now we are starting with the Jenkins installation. Okay. So this was just a prerequisite. Git was a prerequisite, Java was a prerequisite. Now we are going to our Jenkins installation. So we'll hit this command. So LTS is long-term stable version. So we are installing the long-term stable version of Jenkins. Okay, so for that, we are just adding this repository to get it. So just follow this command, not an issue if you do not remember it. It's like whenever you have to install, you will just use these commands to do it. Okay. So most of the time it will be already installed on your organizations, Java, and on your machines, your Jenkins, these everything will be already installed. So since we are going for the first time, so we are installing it. Okay. So this installed the repo. What is the next step? Import the repo key. Let's do this step as well. Okay, this is also done. Now there are many Jenkins 2 versions. Okay, so if you type this command, you will see all the versions of Jenkins available in your repo. Okay. So you will see so many versions are about 2.3.15 blah 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 or 364. There are so many Jenkins version available. So we have to install just any one. We can install any one. So I'll go with the one which they have mentioned. Okay. All the versions will be more or less same. There might be some improvements or some additional things in others, but we don't care. Okay, we are okay with the normal things. Okay. It says sudo yum install Jenkins. Why is it not available? Okay, this is not available, or this is a method they are showing. This you can do via this command. This will install the latest one. Okay, don't mention the version. We don't care which version we are going to install. Let's install the latest one. So this is the command to install the latest one. Sudo yum install Jenkins -y. Okay, so this will install the latest Jenkins version. Okay, so we are installing the latest Jenkins version. So Jenkins version installation, Jenkins is installed. So now we have to start the Jenkins service. So this is the command to start the Jenkins service. Job for Jenkins service failed by sudo systemctl status. Let's check the status first. Yeah, it says failed. Why is it failed? Let's try starting it again. Job for Jenkins system CTL Jenkins service. Okay, let's see this. Let's debug. What is the error it is giving? These are the logs which are more detailed one. So it says what is the error? Unit Jenkins service finished shutting down. Jenkins service has begun starting now. So it was trying to start up. So we are running with Java class version 52, which is older than the minimum required version of 55. Okay, so it is giving a Java error. Okay, see HTTPS, Jenkins, IO redirect. Jenkins requires Java version 17.11, but you're running with 1.8. Okay. So, okay, then we have to upgrade our Java. So that is an issue. So you saw that how we debug, right? So that's how that this kind of issues you'll face multiple times, because what happens is in DevOps, all the tools, they get updated. They are getting updated every day. Okay, so there might be some compatibility issues. For example, Jenkins latest version, what we are installing was only supported by Java 11 and 17. Okay, so we could have gone for the not the latest version of Jenkins as well. So we can try that. We can try that as well if we want, instead of reinstalling Java and doing everything. Okay, so this was a command to show all the Jenkins related things. Okay, let's install an older version. Let's install something older one. Let's install 2. Okay, let's check that. Package matching already installed. Okay, it's already installed. We have to install Java again. Okay, let's install Java again. So let's run on the latest Java version. Okay. Now let's. This was Java 1.8. Okay. So I'm listing the OpenJDK versions again. Sudo yum install. Yeah, this was to list the OpenJDK versions. Let's see what are the versions that are available to install. These are till 1.8. These are till 1.8 only. We installed which one? We installed, I guess we installed this one. Okay, let me find a command to install the latest JDK version. So there are steps available. Yeah, so this one is for the latest JDK version, I guess. Install Java 11 JDK. Let's see if this works. Okay, let's install this. Go by. Okay, so it installed my latest JDK version, I guess. So now I have to do is check alternatives again. Other command. Command was this. So guys, you will face these kind of issues on very frequent basis, because that will be very normal if you are working in DevOps, like facing these installation issues and those things. So you have to just Google it and figure out what is the best option that you have available. Okay, so let's update our alternatives. So this is command to switch. If you have multiple Java versions installed, so this is the option to switch between versions. Okay, so I'll do this. I'll do this command again. So now it says two alternatives. The one I installed earlier, 1.8. Right now, you see star. So this was my old Java version. Okay, and this is my new Java version which I installed right now. So now I want to switch to my new Java version. Okay, so I press selection 2. Okay, so this brought me to my new Java version. Okay, so again, let's follow the same steps. So I'll do a with Java to check. Okay, symbolic link is alternative Java. So I'll do this step again. Okay, so it is pointing to Java 11. Okay, now it is pointing to Java 11. Okay, now again same thing. I have to edit my bash RC file. Okay, now I have to edit my bash RC file which I edited. vi bash c. Okay, this had old path, so let me bring it to the latest path. I'll copy this path till here. Hide it. Mm-hmm. So I just go and save it. Okay, again I'll source this .bash rc to bring it to the latest one, to load the latest one. Okay, so yes, so now if I do which Java, now it is pointing to my latest version. See, Java 11, the Java 11 version which I installed. Okay, so now it should be fine. Now let's start my Jenkins. Let's see if that gets started or not. What was the command to install Jenkins? We were here. Yeah, we installed Jenkins. Now we'll start Jenkins. Let's see if it gets started or not. So it is trying to start Jenkins. I hope it should start this time, because the latest Jenkins that I installed, that was compatible with Java 11. And earlier in the session starting, I installed Java 1.8. Okay, so those two were not compatible. So that's why my Jenkins was failing. And I checked the logs and I found that error that that version is not compatible. So I installed Java 11 on my system. Okay. And then I started Jenkins again. So see, it did not give an error right now. So I'll just check the status if it got installed or not. Okay. So see, now it is running. Okay. Now Jenkins got started. Okay. Now what is the step? Next step? Sudo systemctl enable. Now after starting, we have to enable Jenkins. What enabling will do? What this command will do? Sudo systemctl enable Jenkins. It will, like, after every booting, like if I reboot my system, it will again start Jenkins. It's not like that after I reboot my system, I have to start Jenkins manually. So that's why I do enable Jenkins. So it will automatically start Jenkins while as soon as my system gets booted. So I'll enable it. Okay. Now, how to access Jenkins? So this part is clear?
Yes.
Clear? So you got the issue, got the reason why we were getting error, right?
Yeah.
Because Java version was old, so we fixed it. Okay. So now let's try to access Jenkins. Where do we access Jenkins? How do we access Jenkins? We just copy we use public IP of the instance. Okay, because Jenkins is always running on port 8080. Okay, that is a default Jenkins port. Okay, let's bring it out of this. Jenkins is always running on port 8080. So I'll copy this. After that, port 8080. So this should open Jenkins. See, now it is opening Jenkins. Okay, but see, when you are opening for the first time, you will get an error. You will see that you are not able to access it. So what are the things that you have to change? You have to add 8080 in the security group. Okay, in the security group of your instance, you guys must be aware of this concept, right? Security groups. So this instance has this security group. So see what things I have enabled in my security group. I have also enabled 8080. Okay, I have enabled 8080. So you have to enable this port to make to run Jenkins to browse Jenkins from your browser. Okay, you have to add this in your security group rule. So only after that it will log in. It will you will see this unlock Jenkins screen. So now what you have is, it says that first you have to give the initial password. To unlock it, you have to give the initial password. Where will you get that password. This password is located here. Let's copy this path. Let's go to this path. Let's do a cat. This path. Yeah. So it shows me this. This is my initial password. So I'll copy it and I'll paste it here. So now it has, now I have to set Jenkins. I have to set up my Jenkins. So it says install suggested plugins or select plugins to install. Okay, I told you about plugins, right? Plugins are very good feature of Jenkins. So you can, whatever tool you want to connect with Jenkins, just install that plugin and it will, and just do some customizations and your Jenkins will be able to connect to that tool. Okay, with tool, I mean any tool you're using in DevOps, like Git, Maven, Jenkins, SonarQube, not Jenkins, sorry, SonarQube, Docker, Kubernetes, all the different types of monitoring thing. So everything, because Jenkins will help you throughout the software journey, right? Throughout your software development lifecycle. So whatever tool, so Jenkins is throughout your journey. So whichever tool you want to integrate with it, just download that plugin, install that plugin on Jenkins, and you are good to use it. Okay, now it says you have two options. So let's go with install suggested plugins. So install plugins, install plugin, the Jenkins find it. An error occurred during installation, forbidden. Oh, now it is. I don't know what was that issue. But yeah, now it is seeing, see, it is installing all these plugins, folders, pipelines, Git. So all these plugins, even you can go and manually install it as well. I'll show you how to manually install a plugin. But if you select this option, so these are the most frequently used plugins, which Jenkins know that these are popular plugins and people might use it. So it's a quick start. It's a bootstrap kind of thing. Okay. Now you have to create a first admin user. So let's name it egain. Okay, password egain. Password egain. So you're creating admin user. Okay. Full name also egain. You can put whatever you want, egain@gmail.com, whatever you want to put. Okay, you can save and continue. It says change your password. Okay, this is normal notification. So now it says your Jenkins URL. Your Jenkins URL you already know. It's your public IP address of your machine and port 8080. Okay, so this is your Jenkins URL. You just go save and finish. Okay, it says Jenkins is ready. Your Jenkins setup is complete. Now you can start using Jenkins. Till here it's clear?
Yes. Yeah.
So this is how your Jenkins board looks like. This is my Jenkins dashboard. Okay. This is my Jenkins dashboard. We'll see what are the options we have it here. But let's go to our console right now. Here, let's go to our EC2 instance. So all the things we have installed about Jenkins. So everything related to Jenkins will be located in by default this path, where cd lib Jenkins. Okay, so inside this, everything, whatever plugins we are downloading, our workspace, our jobs which we are creating, you will see all these things are there in this folder only. Okay, all the settings and everything lies in this folder only. Okay. So yeah, coming to our dashboard, how does the dashboard looks like? So dashboard looks like this. You have a new item. I'll show you new item, what a new item is. It's saying create a job, set up agent, configure cloud. You have your user screen here, like normal things. You have credentials, logout option. If you want to search something, you have all these things. Now, important thing here is your manage Jenkins. Manage Jenkins is you can customize various things here, like all the management things that you want to do with your Jenkins machine or your Jenkins Jenkins. You can do it. Okay, it has many options. Like you have manage plugins. You can download and if you go to manage plugins, you will see like what are the plugins that are already installed. Okay, so see, these are the plugins that are already installed that Jenkins installed for us when we selected the steps when you're setting it up. Okay, all these plugins are automatically installed, and it will also show you what are the plugins that are available in the market, what your Jenkins supports. So you have all these plugins that are available. So you can go and install any one of them, whatever you want. Okay, so many plugins are available. I'll show you after installing. I'll show you how to install a plugin and those things. Okay. Now let's go back to manage Jenkins. I'll show you other things what we have in manage Jenkins. Then we have global tool configuration. What is global tool configuration? In global tool configuration, we specify all the tools, like whatever tools I said are related to our Jenkins, whatever tools like Maven, Git, everything, like all the components, all the external tools that my Jenkins is using, I can configure it from here. Okay, like I can do Maven configuration. I'll tell you what is Maven. Maven is a build tool. Okay, we'll see that tomorrow, maybe. Okay, Maven is a build tool. So we can configure all these tools that we are going to integrate our Jenkins with. Okay, we are going to integrate our Jenkins with Java. Okay, we are going to integrate our Jenkins with Git. Okay. Okay, so all these tools are there, Gradle and Maven, so everything. So you can add more if you need. Okay, so this was just my global tool configuration. Okay, then plugins I already told you. Then manage nodes and clouds. This will come into picture when we are having multiple nodes. Okay, like the master slave concept that I told you earlier. But we'll not see this. We'll not see this today. We are just going through the basic. Okay, how does this look like and all these features that we have in Jenkins. Okay, then you have the security related things, managing credentials. Okay, managing users. You can add a user, you can delete a user. Okay, we'll see that today. Okay, then you have status information about Jenkins, system logs. Okay, troubleshooting, tools and actions. So this will manage Jenkins is for managing your Jenkins. Okay, all the things you can do it here. Okay, now here you have something called if you go to the dashboard again, you will see here people. In people, you will find what are the users in your account. Okay, right now I have a single user called egain. Okay, I have just one user called egain. Okay, so I can add multiple users. I can add multiple users using manage Jenkins only. In manage Jenkins, I show you the option, right, where you can add users. So we'll come to that. Okay, so then you have new item. New item means in new item you see, if I click on new item, I'll see what are the items I can create. Okay, I can create a project, a freestyle project. I can create a pipeline. I can create a folder. Okay, we'll come to these steps as well. Okay, then you have build history. It will show you what are the jobs that we had built. Okay, manage Jenkins I already told you. Okay, now let's do one thing. Let's download a let's create a job. Let's create a job. Okay, I'll go to new item. Okay, I'll go to new item. Then I have to create an item name. So there are these 6 types of item that Jenkins provides you. Okay, you can go for any one of them. Freestyle project is the most used one. So freestyle project will give you very much flexibility. Okay, it will give you like options to build your project. Okay, you can integrate your Git with your project. Like we know why you use Jenkins, right? Whenever someone commits a code in Git, your Jenkins will take the build and it will start building it. Will treat that code and start building the code, and it will you can do whatever you can. Jenkins can do whatever you want to ask him to do. Okay, this is a freestyle project. This is the most used thing that we have in Jenkins. People usually create freestyle projects. Then we have something called pipelines. Pipelines these are long running activities. For example, you have multiple steps. You are building it, then you are testing it. Okay, then you are deploying it in this environment. Then after this deployment completes, you want to deploy it in another environment. Then you want a manual approval. Then you want to deploy it in another environment and do some testing. So you can have multiple you can have a long chain of tasks. Okay, so in that case, we'll use a pipeline. Okay, so pipeline we'll also see later, like not today, not tomorrow. We'll see in the next coming sessions. Okay, then you have multi-configuration project. Multi-configuration project are used. For example, if there is a project, if there's a build that you want to deploy in multiple environments. Okay, same project. Okay, if you want to deploy on multiple environments, you want to deploy on UAT, you want to deploy on prod, you want to deploy on dev. Okay, so you can use this. This is also not very commonly used. So mostly you will use freestyle project and pipeline only. Okay, freestyle project and pipeline only. And folder also. Folder is nothing. Folder, you can create a folder. It's nothing. Folder is, you can, on the dashboard, you will see a folder available. You can create multiple folders there, and inside the folder, you can create a project. So that's how it works. Then multi-branch pipeline. Okay, it creates a set of pipeline projects according to detected branch. And these are also not, you people not using it. Organizational folders. Okay, these are for multi-branch. Okay, these are for multi-branch things. We'll see that later. These are complex things. So basic are freestyle project. We'll go with freestyle project today. Okay, while and in the coming sessions, when we are discussing other than this freestyle project, we'll go into detail. Okay, so let's create a freestyle project. So I have to give a name to my freestyle project. Let's say it my first job. Okay, so Jenkins is, you create a job, right? So what does a Jenkins do? So Jenkins is your slave, correct? Jenkins, you can ask Jenkins to do whatever you want to do, what want it to do. Okay, so you create a job. Okay, so that is a freestyle project. Okay, anything that you create in Jenkins, that's a job. Okay, and you can run a job, trigger a job. Okay, you can trigger a job, and whatever you specify in the job will start running. Okay, so we name our project as my first job. Okay, then I'll go okay. Okay, so it is asking me to do some configurations. Okay, so I'll give a description that this is my first job. Okay, first Jenkins job. Okay, then you have various settings. We'll see that. We'll see everything in detail. Okay, then you have source code management. I told you, right? We can integrate our Jenkins job with a source code with Git. Like whatever you have in the Git repo, that code will be brought to Jenkins. Jenkins will build it and will produce a jar file or whatever. So you can link your Jenkins job with a build. So for now, let's leave it none. Okay, we are not. I'm just creating a simple job that you can see. Okay, I'll not link any source code management. We'll do that later in the session today. Okay, then you have build triggers. How you want to build that job. Okay, whether you want to build it periodically or whether you want to build it manually. Okay, if you do not select anything, that means you are triggering that job manually. Okay, I have to trigger that job manually, but you can automate it. If I select build periodically, okay, so it will build it after some time. Like you can specify after every minute, after 10 minutes, after 1 hour. This you can specify. Okay, we'll come to build triggers afterwards. Okay, then we have build environments. Okay, these are the basic, like we'll show that. I'll show you that. Just I'm giving you just a basic. So I gave it a description. Okay, let's come extreme down to build step. You can hear me, right? I'm audible, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, now we have build steps. Okay, build step is important because this is the actual thing what you're going to do. Okay, in build step, what are the options you have? You can execute a shell command. Okay, you can execute a Windows batch command. So in our case, we have installed Jenkins on our Linux instance, right? So let's execute a shell command here. Okay, let's execute a shell command here. So I can write whatever command I want to write, like whatever shell command let's do echo. You're comfortable with Linux, right? Commands?
Yes.
I can write whatever. Hello, this is my first Jenkins job. by. Okay, let's say I write this. Okay, then you have post build actions. So after this build gets complete, what do you want to do? Okay, that comes in post build actions. We'll see that later. So let's save it. So your job got created. If I go to the dashboard, you'll be seeing your job. This one I created. Okay, my first job. So how will I trigger it? I'll go to this job. You see build now. I'll click on build now. So build now will build this job. See, you see here, now it has built this job. And the time you see 9:43 a.m. It has built this job. And let's see, open it. Let's see the logs. See, this is the console. This is my logs. So it says, hello, this is my first Jenkins job. It built, this had built it. Okay, so the job which I specified is running. Okay, what was in my job? I was just running a shell command. That's it. I just triggered a shell command. That's it. Okay. Now you can go and edit it. This is your project already. Now you can, here you have options. You can again build it. Okay, if you again build it, you again have trigger. Again, this gets triggered. Okay. Now if you open it, this log also you can see. We did not do any change, so this was it. Okay. So I can do changes to it also. I can again go to configure and I can edit it. Okay, I can edit the things in. I can edit the description. I can edit whatever I want to. Like this is my. I can do whatever I want. Okay, I read it. I save it again, and I can run this. I can build it again, so it will create a new build. See, build number 3. So this hash you see, #1, #2, #3. So this is the build ID. Okay, so this is called a build ID. Okay, so now this build ID, if you see, if you want to see the logs of this build ID, click on it and you will see the changes that we did. Hey, new thing is coming up. Okay, clear?
Yes.
Now, let's make some changes again here. So here, we saw this, right? Build triggers. Let's trigger this build periodically. Okay. Schedule, you can mention the schedule. If you like, you have question mark after everything, you can just go and read about it, what these steps are doing, what these things are doing. So building periodically, it says help or feature, it builds periodically. Schedule, what is schedule? Schedule is, you can click on it, you will see how to schedule it. Okay. Cron job you might be knowing, right? Cron job. You guys know what is a cron job?
Yeah, we done it.
Hello?
Scheduling.
Okay.
It's for scheduling job.
Yeah, for scheduling job. So that is, we can specify the schedule. So star I put, like 5 stars I put, that means I'm scheduling every minute. 1,
Okay.
2, 3, 4, 5. So this means every minute. So, okay, so it says that you appear to be missing white spaces. Ah, sorry, I have to put spaces in between. Star. Okay. So it says, do you really mean every minute? When you say dash, perhaps you mean dash to poll, whatever it's saying. So it means every minute you are scheduling your job. Okay, let's say save. So see, my job will be scheduled every minute. Just notice it here. I'm not triggering any build now. Let's wait for a minute. Things are clear, right? How to install, and you guys can today go and install Jenkins on your machine. Okay, create an EC2 instance. See, a job 4 got triggered without me doing anything. Okay, so it is building automatically now. If I go and check the logs, so it will print, hey, hello, this is my first Jenkins job. Okay. So every minute it will run. I'm not triggering anything. So now see, after some time, build number 5 will come in. So these are the build IDs that are coming in. Okay, #1, #2, #3, #4. You see, these are the build IDs. Okay. So as we specified only echo only, right? We did an echo only. So you can write a complete big shell script in that command. You can create a shell script and paste that shell script in that command, in that path, in that location where we did that echo this. So it will run the whole shell script. It should trigger a build again. What happened? Mm. 1 minute should be so long. Let's refresh it. Okay, it had triggered. I guess we had to refresh it. So see, 948, 949. So it automatically does it. Automatically triggers it. See, 6, 950. Every minute it is triggering it. Okay. So let's remove this build periodically now because we don't want to build periodically. So now let's link our Jenkins. So let's link our Jenkins to our Git repository. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's show you how to download a plugin. Okay, this is clear, right? How to create a job and how to write the things in that, how to configure it. Okay, you go to the job and you can configure it and you can give all the configuration options you see here. Okay, so here I was saying that inside this execute shell, if you want to write any shell script, any big 40, 50 lines of shell script, even that would run. Okay. So I'm not doing anything here right now. Okay, so now I'll show you how to create a plugin. I go to the dashboard. I go to manage Jenkins. I go to manage Jenkins and then manage plugin. I have to install a plugin. There is a plugin called, I noted it down. That plugin is for creating role-based access plugin. Okay, there is a called role-based authorization strategy plugin. Okay, let's download that plugin. Okay, I'll go to available plugins. I'll search for this plugin, role. So it is giving me already, see, role-based authorization strategy. So I'll select it. Okay, now it's giving me 3 options. Install without restart, download now and install after restart. Okay, let's install it without a restart. So if I select this, if I choose this, Jenkins will not be needed to restart. It will just install this without and Jenkins will not be needed to restart to use it. Okay, if he's and next option is download now and install after restart. Okay, this option will download this particular plugin, and after my Jenkins is restarted, only then the changes will come into effect. Okay, so let's install without a restart. Okay, I clicked on it. So see all the plugins that are already success, and now this plugin was getting installed. Okay, so it says success. No, so now my role-based authorization strategy plugin is installed here. Okay, now it says restart Jenkins when installation is complete and no other jobs. Okay, no, we don't want that. We don't want to start. Okay, let's go back to the top page. Okay, now let's see what that plugin does. Okay, so after you install plugins, you will see many options that are available. Like with every plugin, there will be different kind of options available. So you got to manage Jenkins. Okay, and manage Jenkins, I'll go to I'll go to configure global security. Okay, this is the place I want to go configure global security. So in configure global security, you will see authentication and authorization. So I'll go to authorization and I'll select role-based strategy. Okay, earlier this option would not be there. Before I installed that plugin, you might not have seen this role-based strategy thing. Okay, now I want to create authorization based on roles. Like you will see that. Okay, I'll go for, I'll click on role-based strategy. Okay, then I'll save. I'll do nothing. Okay. So what I want to do, I want to create roles similar to like IAM roles you have, right? IAM roles and groups. Okay, for IAM role you have a set number of policies that this particular role can do this particular role can do this. Okay, so we are doing similar kind of thing here. Okay. So I've written the steps here. I'll forward you this document. Okay. So okay, now we'll go to manage and assign roles, and let's create a role. So see, manage and assign roles got earlier it was not showing, correct? Earlier it was not showing. Now we go to manage and assign roles. Now we have our roles to manage. Let's go to manage roles. So right now there is a single role called admin. Okay, and admin has all the roles. It has the roles for administer. It has all the roles. So let's create one more role. Let's create a developer role. Okay, let's create a developer role, and you can give whatever permissions you can give it to the developer. So developer will have minimal access, right? So I'll just give him option to read the job. Okay, I can give him option to, okay, let's view. Okay, delete. Viewing option I'm giving him, configure, update, tag. Okay, let's say these options I'm giving him. Delete, replay, workspace also I'm giving him. Okay, you can give him whatever options you want. Okay, I'm not giving him all the administrator access. I'm not giving him all the access. I'm just giving him for the even for the job. I'm just giving a read option. Okay, let's add this. Entry for developer already exists. Entry for developer already exists. Ah, okay, sorry. I've already added developer, right? So I'll just save it. So my role got created. Now what I have to do, I have to create a user. Correct. I do not have a user right now in my system. So again, I'll go to manage Jenkins. Now, if I scroll down, you will see manage users. Okay, just go to manage users, and you can create a user. Let's create a user. I'll create a user who needs, let's say. Okay, password, put any, confirm password. Okay, everything. Just dummy email ID. Okay, so I created a user. I'm creating a user. So see, my user got created. I'll not save it. My user got created. Now I can do what I can do. I can give a role to this user. Okay, let's give a role to this user. For now, it is admin. It can do whatever it wants. So let's give it a particular role to this user. So again, I'll go to manage Jenkins. Okay, I'll again go to manage and assign roles. Okay, I'll go to assign roles now. I'll go to assign roles, and there you see egain is a user that is having admin rights. Okay, that is a base user which I have. Now let's add a user which I created just now. Okay, I'll add it. So it gets showed up here. So it says that this user, I can give him developer role. Okay, let's give this user a developer role. Okay, I'll save it. Now let's try to log in as this particular user. Okay, I'll open this in incognito. Oh. Okay, I'll log in as my user Puneet. Password. I'll go to sign in. So see, I have not given many permissions to this user, so it is saying access denied. Puneet is missing overall read permissions. So I have to give him read permissions. Only then he can read it. So again, I'll go to assign role. Okay. No, for this role, I have to manage the role, right? To this role, I have to give some permissions. So I'll go to manage role, and to developer, I have to give some reads, overall read. Okay, I'll give him overall read. Let's save it. Let's refresh it. See, now it is able to see it, but see, it is not able to create. I do not see a new item here. You're noticing? I'm not seeing a new item here, but for admin, I'm seeing new item here. Because in this, for this developer role, I have not, for this job, I have not selected this create. Okay, now if I select create now, let's see. Again, I refresh. So see, new items comes in. Okay, so this plugin, which I told you, I was just giving an example. This was a plugin, role-based authorization strategy. This is a plugin that you can use to control roles. Okay, to control the roles. Like you can create multiple users and you can have multiple users with different roles. Like you can have a developer role, you can create a tester role, you can create an admin role. Okay, you can create a security role. XYZ, whatever roles you can create, those roles will have different permissions. Okay, exactly similar as the IAM. Okay, AWS IAM service, you know, right? Exactly similar to that. You can create a role and you can assign different policies to it. Same thing what we are doing here. You are assigning different policies to it. Okay, so this was just an example I gave you. This clear? Is it clear, guys?
Yes. Yeah.
So this was one of the plugins I told you how to install a plugin, how to configure a plugin. So for every plugin, you will have separate. This is not the same steps you will have for every plugin. Yeah, for plugin download, you will have the same step. You will go to manage Jenkins and you will go to manage plugins and you just search the name of that plugin and install it. That's it. That is the same procedure. But for configuring the plugin, that depends on the plugin which you are downloading. Okay, so you have many plugins. So if you want to see number of plugins available, you can see Jenkins plugins. Okay, so this is a website for Jenkins plugin. So you see you have 1800 plus plugins. 1800 plus plugins you have. This list is endless. So you have so many plugins. You can install any plugin on your and start using it. Okay. See, look at the number of plugins you are having. So for whatever you want to do, you have that plugin. Okay, just install that plugin and it is good to go. Clear? Now let's link our Git repo with our project, with our job. Okay, we want to build a code which is there in my Git repo to my Jenkins. Okay, what will I do with my Jenkins job? What will I do? I will go to my GitHub page. Let's go to my GitHub page. I hope you guys must be already having an account on GitHub now. Okay. So let's take any repository. I can take whatever repository I can. So here, let's say, yeah, already I have a simple hello.java. This is my name of the repo, hello world. Okay. And there is already a file called hello.java. You can see the content. It is just a hello world program. Okay, public class hello. It is just printing hello. It is just printing hello world. Okay. It is just printing hello world. So now let's link our GitHub with Jenkins. So let's go to Jenkins. How we do it? Let's create a new item. We'll create a new item for it. Again, let's name it. We'll create a freestyle project. Okay, we'll name it, let's say, Git job. We'll call it Git job. Okay, this is my freestyle project, so I'll go and create it. Okay, so this created my job. If I see here now, if I go to dashboard, so I have two jobs created. One was my first job, and this one I created, Git job, just now. Okay, I'll go to configure. Okay, so I can give a description. This is my job to build a code from Git repo. Okay, whatever you want to give the description. Okay, before this, I wanted to show you something. So I told you, right, so whatever you are doing here, whatever plugins you're installing, whatever jobs you are creating here, so all these are actually getting created in Jenkins workspace. Okay, what is the concept of workspace? For whatever jobs you are creating, these jobs are getting created in workspace. So if you go to your system, to your EC2 instance, so this location you see, right? /var/lib/Jenkins. This is a default location for where Jenkins is installed. Okay. If I look at what are items available here, you see I have nodes, user accounts, secret key, whatever. I have something called workspace. So in the workspace, your actual jobs will be there. So if I log into the workspace, or if I go inside the workspace, I have, see, this is the first job I created, right? My first job. This was it, my first job. I can go inside this. It should not have nothing. It is having nothing because we did anything. We'll just building a shell command, right? We were just executing a shell command through this first job. Okay. So now, so that was my path where I can see, like in the workspace, I'll see all my projects which I'm creating. All the projects which I'm creating here on Jenkins, I'll see in the workspace only. Okay. So let's create this project now. Okay, this is my, okay, this is my description. Okay. Description I can give whatever. I can name it a GitHub project. Okay, let's leave it. I'm not giving a name. Okay, so for source code management, coming to source code management, we were leaving it none before that. Okay, because we were just executing a shell script. Okay, but now we will do it a Git. Okay, to Git, we will provide a repository URL. What is the URL repository? Repository URL. I'll get it here. If I go to my repository, I go to this code, I get this there. This is my repository code. So I'll copy it. I can paste it here. Okay. Next, credentials. Credentials means what you want to, like credentials, like your username and password for Git, for your Git repo. So let's add a credential. Okay. So username, it was my email ID. Okay. Password is okay. So this is my password. So this is your username password of your GitHub account. Okay, I'm just going to add. Yeah, so it added a credential. Let's say never. So now if I do this, so it is saying credential. So using this credential, I can start working. Okay, so it is linking. So I'm just linking my Git URL, GitHub repo to my Jenkins account. So this is how I do it. In the source code management, I specified Git. I gave a repo name, okay, and this. Okay, branches to build, you can specify the branches to build. So right now I had only one branch. Okay, I had only master here. Okay, I have readme edits also, but no issues. I'm choosing a master because this hello world, hello Java is in my master only. Okay, so you can set a branch here. Like if you want to build a specific branch, just edit. You can edit this branch, edit here. Okay, then coming to build trigger. So build trigger, what I'll do, let's leave it for now. Okay, let's leave it for now. I'll trigger manually. Okay, I'll trigger manually. So what I'll do, I'll trigger manually for now. So later on, what I'll do, I'll schedule it such a way, then whenever someone makes a commit to my repo, my code gets automatically built. My job gets automatically run. Okay, I'll do it later. Okay. I'll do a build environment, not needed for now. Build steps. Build steps, I can again execute a shell command. Okay, shell command. Then what are the command that you run to do to run a Java file? You do a Java. Have you worked on Java, guys, before?
Yes.
Okay. So this is how you run it, right? You build that file using Java C. You compile it, Java C, the name of the Java file, and then you run it. Java, name of the file, name of the class. Okay, this is how we run it. So I'll just go and save it. Okay, so let's build it. Let's try to build it. Let's see what it does. See, it is building it. Building it, but it gave an error. Let's see what is the error it gave. It says Java C command not found. Java C command not found. Okay, let's leave it. Let's leave it for now. So okay, our first purpose was to link our GitHub repo to Jenkins. Okay, so that we did successfully. See, look at the logs here. See, it says it started by the user egain. So egain is the user which triggered it. Okay, then building in the workspace. So yeah, workspace. I told you, right? Whatever jobs you create get created here. So if I do ls-lstr, not inside this. Yeah, in the workspace, in the Jenkins var lib Jenkins workspace, you will see that. Okay, see here, there is a git underscore job which got created. Earlier it was only my first job, right? Earlier it was my first job, but I created another project and it created another workspace. So if I cd into this and I do ls-lstr, so see, it brought hello.java. It downloaded hello.java from my GitHub repo. Okay, so this Jenkins did it. Jenkins downloaded hello.java from my GitHub repo to my Jenkins workspace. Okay, so how did it link it? How did it find that? So we configured it. Okay, we configured it in our configure jobs. Okay, in the configure job, we specified, we linked our Git repo with our Jenkins job. Okay, see in the source code management, we specified which repository, we specified the credentials. Okay, everything is specified. Clear? This part is clear? How does the linking happen?
Yes.
Okay, then see, it is cloning the repository, cloning the remote Git repo. So it is cloning the repository. Okay, it did all the cloning and everything. It did all the cloning. Okay, then what it did, like all these Git specific commands, you see, Git checkout, Git clone, Git fetch, Git version, okay, everything. Now, after cloning, what did it do? It will come to my next step. What my next step? My next step was, I'll show you what was the next step. Okay, this was using source code management. Yes. So on this repo, whatever it was, it brought to the Jenkins workspace. Now it will execute these things. It will execute the build steps that we have configured here. Okay, it will execute the build step that we have configured here. So that is where it gave an error. Okay, it says that Java C not found, I guess that error it is giving. Okay, we'll see that, not an issue, that is not our concern. We wanted to link our Git repo with our Jenkins, so that is accomplished. Okay, so it gives, it says that first time build, skipping change log. Okay, Java C hello world Java got executed and it says command not found. Build step execute. So this is fine. Let's ignore it for now. So what we did for now, we did we manually triggered it. Okay, again, if I want to trigger it, I'll again go to build and I'm manually triggering it. So again, this will fail with the same error for sure, because I did not say anything right now. Okay, so this is how I was manually triggering it. But now, what is continuous integration? Continuous integration, you want that whenever a developer commits the code in the repo, your job gets executed by its own. Okay, like the person committing that repo, that triggers this job. So how will you do it? You will do it using webhooks. So there is something called webhooks in Git. Okay, so what is a webhook? Using webhook, you can link the event. Okay, whatever with, like, say you want as in our case, like when someone commits something in your repo, your build job gets triggered. Okay, so this you do using webhooks. Webhooks are the thing that we configure in Jenkins, that we configure in our Git as well as Jenkins. Okay, let's see. If I go to this is my repo. Okay, this is my repo. Okay, here I'll go to settings. Settings has this webhooks. You see webhooks. So right now this webhook is already configured. I'll delete it. So for you guys, it will be, you will see like this. This was linked to my old repo. Okay, it will show like this for you guys. Webhook, it will say nothing. You will not see anything here. So you just go and add webhook. Okay. What will you add? You will add the URL of your Jenkins repo. You will add the URL of your Jenkins repo and slash webhook. This. Just let me make sure that if that path is correct. Oh, GitHub webhook. It's GitHub webhook, not webhook. Like this. So this is the path you have to put. Okay. So your Jenkins URL, like port 8080, then slash git webhook, GitHub slash GitHub -webhook slash. Okay. Now you can configure what events will trigger that build. Okay, you can configure what event. So it's by default it is selecting just the push event, means just the commit event. So here you can select what are the events that can trigger your build. Okay, it selected push automatically by default. Like if someone pushes something, if someone commits something to a Git repo, the job will get triggered. Or you can add other things. You can add pull request here. Okay, when someone raises a pull request, then when someone opens a pull request, creates a pull request, your job will be triggered. Okay, you can create, you can add, like whatever. This is a list of event. Okay, this is a list of event. Okay, so let's pull request. Let's select. Okay. Let's add. So by default it will be active. So keep it selected active. We'll go and add webhook. So see, your webhook got added. So your webhook now is pointing to your Jenkins URL, your Jenkins, and it has slash git webhook. This indicates that using this URL only, your this Jenkins job will get triggered. So now we are just linking an event on your GitHub to Jenkins. Okay. So what are the changes I have to make here? I'll go to configure. So earlier, how I was building it in the build triggers, I was not selecting anything, right? I was not selecting anything. So that is why I had to build it manually. I have to build now, and then it used to build. But now I'll do is I'll select this GitHub hook trigger for Git SCM polling. So, okay, I'll select this. So this will enable the feature I want to enable, that whenever someone commits it, my build will get triggered. Okay, I'll go and save it. So now let's commit something in my GitHub page. Let's commit something in my this is my file. I'll just go edit it. Let's say you can edit anything. Hello, or you can edit whatever you want. Okay, you just commit changes. Okay, your changes got committed. Now your build should be running here. See, you committed and your build got triggered. See it? Number 3 got triggered. Now again, let's say I committed. So for every commit, my build will get triggered. I'll push the next commit. So again, my build will get triggered. See, I'm not triggered. See, number 4 got triggered. Clear? Clear, guys? How we are linking our Git repo to my GitHub repo to my Jenkins?
Yeah.
Clear, right? Any doubts?
No.
So this is what continuous integration is. Okay, so whenever a developer commits, let's say he commits 50 lines of code. So your Jenkins job will fetch the code from the repo, store it in its workspace, build it, and run it. Like right now, we have configured just two things here, right? We are just building the code and just running it, and that too is failing, not an issue. But understand the concept. What he can do many things here. Okay, he can even trigger another shell script, which is triggering another shell script, which is doing the testing, which is storing the build in some artifact, storing the jar somewhere, and it can do anything, whatever you want, you can do here. Okay. Just to make sure, I'll echo. So this will not build this change which I did. This will not trigger a build, because I have change. If I do some change here, then it will trigger a build. Let's say committed. So it should build number 5. I can do whatever I want here. So it is building hello world, but now on Java C it is failing. It is failing because, but this part is clear, right? It's failing. It's not our concern.
Yeah.
It's a code.
We need to link Java, is it, for that? Yeah.
Java is linked. That is automatically linked.
Well, you're saying command not found, isn't it?
Yeah, it's saying command not found. We'll see that. Okay, we'll see that.
Okay, no problem. Yeah.
But this part is clear, right? In Java code, you can have any.
Yeah,
You can have big, like 50,000 lines of code. You can have hundreds of Java file here. Okay, what will your Git do? Your Git will just your Git job that you created, like your Jenkins job will just pull that pull that code from Git and will store it in workspace, and it will start building it. So I'll show you what is a workspace. So here you see workspace, this workspace.
Yeah.
In the workspace, you see Git job. So it will get automatically, again and again, it will start fetching it here. Okay, whatever changes I'm making, to the GitHub repo, so it will bring the latest one here. It will bring the latest one here. So we select this. See, this is the latest one. Latest file here. Okay. Clear?
Yeah.
So you can go and try this thing today. Install
Yeah, I mean, we
Git,
need to
install
do that.
Java.
Yeah.
Okay. From tomorrow we'll start ahead of this. Like we'll study Maven. We'll see if time permits. We'll see pipeline. Okay, we'll see some complex things tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try to debug it. Why Java is not Java C. Hello Java. It is saying Java command not found. Go $Java. Java home is fine. To fix Java. Okay, let's do it like this. No, not a directory. Java C is where? Red bin. No. Any idea, guys? Any Java expert here?
Yeah, it should be you. I don't know where the.
Yes, there's something issue with our Java installation, I guess. So initially we were struggling with Java installation, right? The Java version or those things might have created some conflicts, I guess. Okay, let's figure this. Why this error is coming? Yes. Yum install Java. What is this? Yum install Java devil. Me. Now it's building, yeah. Now it built successfully. You should see a class file here. Yeah, see, you see a class file here.
Yeah.
Okay. Now if I do a Java, hello. Yeah. Now it is printing. See, hello Java, how are you? Now it's working. So now I should be able to get this on my Git. So let's edit something here. Instead of hello, I'll say hey. Commit changes. So let's see if it took it. Good job. So it's building it. Again, red. Permission denied. Now it's trying to run it, but it's saying permission denied. Permission denied could be, yeah, because of this. You are running as a Jenkins user and your class file got generated as a root user, I guess. So let me remove this class file first. let the class file get generated by the Jenkins user only. So the issue might be your Jenkins from here is running as a Jenkins user, right? And it might have tried to create a hello.class file, and here hello.class file is already there with a root user. So maybe it was not able to delete it and create a new one. Maybe that's right. So let's try it now. Let's try to trigger the build again. Job number 7. Yeah, green, finally green. So it sees printing. Hey world, how are you? Okay.
Yeah.
So I have linked my GitHub repo to my Jenkins job, which I created. And you can play around with it. You have so many things you can play around with it.
Okay.
Now look at the difference. It says started by GitHub push by Puneet Gavri. So this is my GitHub URL, GitHub, the admin of the GitHub page, because this is my automatic build, right? My committing, someone committed, and then it got triggered. Okay, so it says GitHub push by Puneet Gavri. But for previous pushes, you see, for previous runs, you will see that I manually did it from here. So again, if I do it manually from here, you will see build 8, which got created, and this was started by egain. Okay, so multiple users can start it, not an issue. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we should not start something new today because I'll let you guys to practice for tomorrow. So please go and practice it, because this is so only then you will be comfortable in tomorrow's session. So tomorrow we'll go with something more complex. So we had just one file, right? Hello world, hello.java here. So we'll create multiple Java files, and we will use Maven to build it, and those things we'll do. We'll go something complex here tomorrow.
All right.
Okay, clear?
Yes.
Shah, Prakash, who was this? I'm unable to recognize your voice. Okay, this is Prakash.
Prakash.
Shah and Raj, clear?
Yes, it's clear. Raj here. Yeah.
Okay. And Prakash? No, Raj. Raj?
Yeah, it's me actually. When I spoke earlier, yeah.
Okay. So things are clear, right? Do you guys know Java? You have worked on Java before?
If I'm speaking about myself, not much, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah, but our task is not to learn Java. So in DevOps, you will not learn Java. It's not a programming. So your developer will do this thing. Your developer in your company, that he will create a code. You should know just the linking part. How you are linking stuff, and how you're proceeding with those things. Git and those things you have to remember. Okay. So yeah, let's connect tomorrow then, same time. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that you guys will practice the things that we did in the today's session, because tomorrow's session will be continuation of today's. Okay, we'll not install Git and everything again. Okay, I'll use the same instance. Okay, I'll use the same EC2 instance. And also let me know if you're facing any issues while installations, because I'm sure you will face it. And try to Google it first, and then if it is not clear, you can ask me tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So many issues today also, right? There were so many issues that we were facing earlier while Java installation, while Jenkins installation, that it was not compatible with the Java version. Then while running the Java code, we saw this issue. So these kind of issues are very normal in DevOps, and these are very easy issues. While you're working, you will see, even in this session, like in the complete 30-40 hours of course that we have. So in this also, you will see hundreds of errors, hundreds and thousands of errors you might see. We'll start fixing them. We'll figure out how to fix them in the session only. Even I don't know right now what errors we'll be getting. Okay, and there may be cases that even I might have not seen those errors. So we'll just Google it and fix it. Okay, so you will get an idea of how we do it in the actual, in the real life in our industry, how we fix it, how we fix those stuff. Okay.
Puneet, just one thing, you said you will be forwarding us the PPTs that we used last week as well.
Okay, I'll upload everything. I'll create a zip file and I'll upload all the PPTs. Okay, today's slide, like today's document.
Yeah.
Everything I'll upload.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you guys then.
Bye.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.